So welcome to Module 2 of the NetSuite Basic Usage course. And we're going to go over the NetSuite user interface. In this module, we're going to learn how to navigate the dashboard and the menus. We're going to customize the user interface and personal preferences. We're going to manage dashboards and portlets, and then we'll move on to Module 3. Okay. When you log into NetSuite for the first time, you are going to see a dashboard very similar to this. So I just want to clarify some NetSuite vocabulary that we use here at Lowe Medical. This landing page, when you click on your, or when you hover over your home key, is your dashboard. Each of these boxes is called a portlet. So when I tell you that we're going to customize these portlets, I'm talking about what you're seeing here in each of these little boxes. Okay. So I'm going to start by removing anything I don't need here. And we'll start with our settings portlet. So as you can see here, we can personalize our dashboard, set preferences, and change some of our personal data that helps get into our account. So we're going to start with setting preferences. And this is kind of the fun part. So on the General tab, you can select to personalize your NetSuite account and what other people see when you send them information from NetSuite. For example, if you have a nickname or a preferred name, you can enter it here. And when you send an email from NetSuite, it'll just have your preferred name on the sender field. Otherwise, if you don't put anything there, that's fine. It'll just be your full name that's on your employee record. If you want a specific email address to be shown in the sent from field when you're sending an email from NetSuite, you can just enter it here. Again, if you don't enter anything here, it's just going to use the one that's on your employee record. You can also add a signature here. If you'd like, you can ask Navar or anyone in marketing to help you set up a signature and add the signature to your messages. So you can set your language. In my case, it'll be English, but you may want to choose Spanish or Portuguese. Language of the help center should also be your preferred language. Here you can select formatting. So you can see that NetSuite default formatting is day, month, year. But you can select day. It spells out the first 3 letters of the month, and the year. You'd have everything in capitals with dashes, just a comma. So however you prefer to see the date format, you can go ahead and select that. Same with the time. I use 12-hour clock with AM, PM, but you can choose 24 hours. Phone numbers. The decimal delimiter in the US is a period, but I know in other countries it's a comma, so you can go ahead and make that change here so it just looks a little bit more comfortable for you. So the other tab I want to introduce you to is Appearance. Here you can change what your NetSuite appearance looks like. So in this case, I'm changing the color theme. You can change the font, different chart themes. So as you get more comfortable with NetSuite, you may come in here and have more of an idea of what you'd like to customize. And then we'll click Save. Okay, so now let's get to personalizing our dashboard. So I'm going to add a few portlets to my dashboard and just kind of show you how it's done and what all of these different portlets will show you. So to open up the list of portlets, you're going to click Personalize here, or you can click Personalize Dashboard in this portlet. Either one will take you to the same place. So on the left-hand side, you have standard content, suite apps, and currently used. So this is a list of what's already. See, it highlights the portlet that I have in there already. Suite app, we don't have any. And then we've got standard content. So I'm going to use a few basic portlets that you might want to start off with. And then we're going to set a task for 2 weeks from today to reconfigure our dashboard. Now, once you're more comfortable with your job requirements and the reports and searches and links that you use regularly for your job functions. So let's start with a report and a search portlet. So this is a custom search portlet. In this portlet, you'll be able to see the results of a custom search. Here's a KPI scorecard. It's a portlet that has a report consisting of multiple KPIs. Typically, they'll compare KPIs between different periods. Here's the report snapshot. So this is a snapshot of a built-in report in graph or list format, depending on where you put it on your dashboard. Here's our tasks. Let's add those to our dashboard. Reminders. And as you can see, you do have a limited number of portlets of each category that you can use on your dashboard. So I can only have one task portlet. I can only have one reminders portlet. I can have 9 report snapshots and 5 custom searches. So, you know, you're going to have to decide what's important to you. And that'll get easier as you get used to the system and start your job functions and get to know exactly what you need. Okay, so let's set these up. It's really simple. Let's start here with our reports. So you're going to go to these 3 dots and you're going to click Setup. And here you have a list of report snapshots. So let's say I want to see customers by profitability. Who has the best margins? I'm going to use a column chart type. I like to see it that way. We'll look at this month to date, but you can always look at this week, this year. You can look at last week, last fiscal year. So you can really decide what period you want to see and go from there. So I want to see this month to date. I'm interested in that. I want to see the top 5, and we'll see. So here we've got top 5 customers by profitability. You can always change your chart type so that it's more visually appealing to you and more helpful to you. And then you have a key as to who we're looking at here. You want to set up reminders. Again, you'll click Setup, and you search for your reminder. So if I want to see, okay, employees with an upcoming birthday. And then you can open that up and it'll show you the 2 employees with birthdays, so you can wish them a happy birthday. A custom search, you're going to set it up the same way. You're going to look for your search. In this case, we haven't created one yet. So let's just look at open orders to process. Well, that's too bad for us that we don't have any sales orders to process. And if you move your portlets, you're going to change the way you see them. By size, and they're going to give you may have the option to add more results if it's a larger portlet versus the smaller left-hand side. You can set up KPIs. Let's use the scorecard that's already configured. And there's the KPIs, and you can always create a scorecard or select individual KPIs. It's really up to you. And then tasks. So as I said when we started, adding to our dashboard, we're going to create a task to review our dashboard in 2 weeks and reconfigure it as needed. So in order to do that, you're just going to click on New Task, and it's going to take you to the task page. Give it a nice title, assign it to yourself. It's going to be a low priority, not been started, private task. And we're going to start it in 2 weeks. So today's the 15th of August. We'll set it for the 29th. And we'll set the due date for the 29th as well. So if you'd like, you could reserve time, and NetSuite will send you a reminder when you set it up. I always suggest you add a message to yourself. So once I am Now you can always add related records. So if, for example, this was a task to call a specific customer, you could easily just find their company and the contact name, or if it was regarding a support case and a specific transaction, you could easily do that. You could add files to your task if needed. But in this case, we're just creating this task so that we have it on our dashboard. So there we go. It's not started and it's not due until the 29th. Now, what do these little pencils mean? It means that I can go ahead and edit these fields right from my portlet. So I don't need to actually go into that task to make edits to certain columns. So custom reports and searches can be created as needed. I suspect in 2 weeks, you're going to have a few already created. And you can always ask your supervisor for additional NetSuite training and let them know what you're trying to do or what data you're trying to pull. And I will personally schedule that session with you once your supervisor gets in touch with me. Okay. So that is it for configuring the dashboard and adding important portlets to your dashboard. You can complete the quiz at the end of this module, and we'll move on to module 3 when you're ready.